Hey, what's good, everybody? It's me, your hero, Benjamin Banks, and you're watching Leveling Up with Benjamin Banks. And joining me, as always, is my co-host, Rebellious D. How you doing today, bro?
Ready to rock, man. Ready to get into this?
I'm ready to rock, too. And
Yeah,
today,
man.
we are doing a review on the Netflix show, Jupiter's Legacy. And
Yep.
before we get into today's review, make sure that you like this video, subscribe to the channel, and hit that bell button so that way you're always notified when we have new content here on Leveling Up with Benjamin Banks.
Also, podcast in the description. Need you guys to check that out right now. Thank you.
Thank you. And let's go ahead and get into this. So now, Jupiter's Legacy, it came out this year. Like I said, it's on Netflix. This is something that D had recommended that we check out. And unfortunately, I wanted to save this for the end of the episode, but I do want to let everybody know that the show, it has been canceled.
Yes,
unfortunately, and we just found out about this tonight, so I'm glad that we found out that the show was canceled before we did this review, and we got to the end. It was just like, yo, I can't wait to see season 2.
Yeah, there won't be any of that.
Yeah, but with that being said, I hope that everybody that's watching, I hope that you still check out Jupiter's Legacy, because I did think that the show was
very fun watch.
It was fun to watch. The action was good. The scenery was good.
Yep.
So I mean, it's your typical superhero show. I mean, we live in a age of heroes.
Yes.
And it had your superhero tropes, but at the same time, you had the real world things that heroes go
imperfections through. Yeah. I mean, you have people doing cocaine. So
that's
a bit out there.
I want to kind of compare to Tiger and Bunny, which me and D did a review on, where it's like the heroes on Tiger and Bunny, they're not teenagers or kids, they're adults. And
exactly.
These adults, they go through adult situations that kids won't go through, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So I just wanted to say that the show, it starts off with the kids, they're playing in the meadows and whatnot, and we see that they have superpowers. And the main hero, the Utopian, who is played by Josh Duhamel, he's pretty much like this Superman type hero. He has Superman's powers and everything. And he has Superman's codes, where it's just like heroes, they shouldn't kill. They shouldn't use their powers for personal gain. And they shouldn't use their powers to interfere and things that are happening in the real world, because it's like if they were to use their powers, then it would change the tide of things. And like that's something that the Utopian and his brother Brainwave, Brainwave, he mentions to the Utopian that he wishes that they would have did something during World War II and stuff like that, but the Utopian, he's just like, nah, if we would have interfered, then what would have happened to the other people? You know what I'm saying? It's just like, so I mean, like, I like the dynamic of the heroes. They have their version of the Justice League, which is called the Union of Justice.
Yeah, the Union.
The Union, and it was formed in 1929. Now, that's the interesting thing about this show, is because it takes place in the present time, but it's a lot of flashbacks that show how they became the Union of Justice. And D, I'll let you take the floor and explain like how they got to where they are now.
Essentially, the lead guy, Josh Duhamel, his character starts to have these visions following the death of their father. And essentially what it is I guess it's the power source drawing him to it. And he starts to map out these coordinates when he's having these episodes, and he sees people in visions, people that he had seen throughout the process, his brother, his best friend, a young lady who basically, she was a reporter, I'm guessing, and she's writing about their dad. And there's a black gentleman that's there as well, and all these people. And there's also a person from the town that he ends up traveling to, and they're there, and they have to be there together in order to receive the powers. And basically it's all in or all fail, So basically they travel to, I'm guessing, was that the Bermuda?
Yeah, somewhere
in the Bermuda Triangle. And they receive these powers after going through extensive trials.
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah. And and the thing is that there were people who had went there before and they failed. And it's just like, the 6 of them, they were chosen to get these powers. And I like how it was 6 of them, because it's very similar to the Justice League, or even if you want to kind of compare it to the Boys in a way, with the 7. But yeah, it's like they all get these powers, and when they get these powers, like I said, it takes place in the 1929, the 1920s, and then it jumps forward to the present time. Now, see, on the first episode, Sheldon, who is the Utopian, him and Lady Liberty, Grace, she was a news reporter. She was your Lois Lane, archetype,
basically.
And pretty much what happens is they end up having kids. Their son's name is Brandon, and then their daughter's name is Chloe, which I had said in the beginning where they were playing out in the meadows, and you see their powers kind of unlock as they're out there playing. And what ends up happening is Brandon, who is a superhero, and he goes by the Paragon, we see that he tries to stop a villain in the first episode, and he gets his ass kicked. And it's once the Utopian shows up and he saves the day that he tells Brandon, it's just like, he's not ready. You're not ready. It's like, I understand that you want to be out here and you want to be a hero, but it's just like you can't get the job done. And it's kind of similar to Invincible, where it's just like on the Invincible cartoon on Amazon Prime, every time Mark Grayson tries to save the day, like he never saves the day. It's like every time he always fails. It's always because of other people why he wins the fight. And that's kind of what Brandon is going through, where it's just like his dad doesn't feel like that he's ready. But Brandon, he tells his sister Chloe that it's just like, dad's getting old and somebody has to replace him as the new Utopian. And what ends up happening is they're fighting their arch enemy, Black Star. And what's crazy is they think that Black Star had escaped prison, which they had already captured Black Star, and he's supposed to be in prison. They think that he escapes prison, so it's just like all of the heroes, they go to fight him. The heroes' kids, they end up going to fight him as well. And Black Star, he ends up killing some of the kids. And when I say kids, I need to say that they're young adults, they're teenagers. And he ends up killing them. And what happens is Black Star, he's about to go nuclear, and what happens is Brandon, he ends up killing him.
Choice. He had to make a choice, Banks.
He made the choice and he killed him. And like I said, it goes against his dad's code of heroes shouldn't kill, because it's like once you kill, that changes up things. And now it's like the world is split, because it's like these heroes, they have powers and they're pretty much gods amongst us, they're gods amongst men and stuff like that. And that's where the whole argument is. Now, like I had told D, one of the things that kind of made the series a little bit boring for me was how they went back to the 1920s to show what led to them getting the powers. Like, I wasn't expecting it to be, to go through several episodes showing how they got the powers. But I will admit that once they got the group of people together, like it did start getting better. But at first, when Sheldon, when he just kept on having these hallucinations and whatnot,
you were wondering where it was going.
I was wondering, like, where is it going? Like, he was seeing his dead dad, because his dad ended up committing suicide because of Black Thursday, which was what was it, the
stock market crash?
The stock market crash. And his dad ended up killing himself,
which many people actually did historically commit suicide.
Because pretty much their businesses were going under.
And I thought it was interesting tie into actual history, Banks. That's something that doesn't really get talked about. Black Thursday doesn't ever get talked about, not really. So
for real, no, it doesn't. And everybody that is a part of the Union of Justice, it's like they all have a connection with each other. Like Sheldon and Walter Sampson, they're brothers. Like I said, their father, he ended up taking his life because of Black Thursday.
Yep.
And then you have George Hutchinson, who is Sky Fox, and his outfit, his character, in a way, I guess you can kind of compare. Batman.
He makes gadgets, I guess.
Yeah, I mean, like it's like he's best friends with Sheldon, and so I mean, it's interesting. Now, just speak on Sky Fox. Sky Fox, he ended up getting taken out of the Union of Justice, and they I guess it was because he ended up killing somebody. Yep. And like I said earlier, the Utopian, that's against the code. Like when they became the Union of Justice, like these were the rules that were laid out. Like, don't kill anybody, don't use your powers for personal gain. And he killed somebody. Yeah. And like that's the reason why they had to take him out. And now he's locked up somewhere where nobody knows where he is. And he has a son named Hutch. Now, what's interesting about Hutch is that he doesn't have any powers, but he has a device that lets him teleport.
The boom tube.
Yeah, pretty much. It lets him teleport anywhere that he wants to go. Yeah. And he ends up, I don't want to get into that because I don't want to spoil the show. Because
like we said at the beginning, we do both recommend still watching it.
Yeah.
I think it's well done. It's a neat take on superpowers and the people who have them.
Yeah.
It's not your straight edge superhero show.
Yeah, for real. And honestly, D, I don't think that we need to reveal anything else because again, like I said, the show it is being canceled, and I would appreciate it if everybody just checked it out. And that's one of the reasons why the show got canceled, is because the viewership for it was low. And Netflix was just like, well, we didn't get this many views on it, so we're just going to cancel it. Now, I did see that they spent over $2 million on this show, and it flopped. And like I said earlier, I mean, everything about the show, like it looked fantastic. Like the story, it was pretty good.
I love the acting.
Yeah, the acting was good. Like they had some good actors in it, but unfortunately, it got canceled. And they're already doing a show that is in the same universe called Super Crooks, and pretty much it shows like the villain side of things. Like once the heroes get their powers and whatnot. Now Super Crooks is going to be an anime adaptation. It's not going to be live action, so it's going to be interesting to see if this show gets picked up for a second season or if it's just a one and done thing. Like we'll see once it comes out. I
did want to see some more scumbag Bobby Drake though. Yeah, I wanted to see more of that guy.
Yeah, I mean it just sucks, man. It sucks because it's like I was looking forward to seeing what was going to happen next, especially after the huge reveal that is at the end of the season. And I mean, it just sucks. It sucks. But now this is based off of a comic. So if you do want to check out the comics, or if you watch the show and like you want more, you can always read the comics and see what happens next. And
which I'm probably gonna do.
You know what I'm saying? Just to see, because it sucks because it's like, you put your time and energy in watching something and then it gets canceled, and it's just like, well, where are we supposed to go from here? So
what are you gonna do?
That being said, thank you for watching this video review. We hope that you do check out the show, and if you do, hop in the comments after you watch it. It's only 8 episodes, and
still highly recommend it.
Let us know.
It's a fun watch.
Let us know what you thought about the show. Did you like it? Did you hate it? If you have watched it, let us know how you felt about the show in the comment section. For me, my final rating for season 1, I'll give it a 7 out of 10. That's what I'll give it. What about you, D?
I'm going to give it an 8 out of 10. Like I said, I really like this show. It's unfortunate for whatever reason, it didn't get picked up for a second season. Phenomenal characters, just a fun design, check it out.
Yeah. And with that being said, D, let them know where they can find you at in social media land.
That's going to be rebellious_D23 at Instagram.com. And Banks, since some people got cut from the payroll, if they need a hero, where they gonna find them?
You can find me, your hero, Benjamin Banks, at KingBenji_Banks on Twitter and Instagram. And you can look me up on Facebook at Benjamin Banks. I should be the first person to pop up. If not, then I need to contact Mr. Zuckerberg. Thank you again for watching this review. Happy Pride Month. Like I always say, keep that pinky up and stay positive. And we'll see you next time on Leveling Up with Benjamin Banks. Peace.
Thanks again, everybody, for watching another episode of Leveling Up with Benjamin Banks. Make sure you like, follow, subscribe to the channel. Podcast, we got that too. Make sure you give us a thumbs up and hit that bell for further episodes and notifications. Thanks a lot to our patrons. And if you don't mind, join the Patreon. We'll be having new specials coming up soon.